Today, we're looking at Jonathan Majors from Creed 3. How did he get so jacked for this movie? How did he train? What did he eat? And then the big question on a lot of people's minds, did he take gear to achieve this physique? So first of all, looking at the physique, if you just look at some of the pictures on Google from Creed 3, you have to admit, he got pretty jacked. And then the question is, did they use some CGI effects to make him look jacked on the day of filming and, on the big screen? Or did he use some bodybuilding principles to sort of dehydrate himself for the day of the screening when they start filming, I guess is the right word. I'm not sure. I think it's probably a little bit of both. It would be stupid not to do some kind of bodybuilding dehydration protocol to get him this lean looking, like you can see in this picture at the top right of the screen. I mean, that would be stupid not to do that, and it would be stupid not to use CGI to make him look even better. I mean, people know that a lot of the Thor movies, he looked great, but they used CGI to help him achieve that when it actually came to being on screen. So I'm sure that Jonathan Majors did both. So, looking at his physique, you can look at some of these Men's Health photos. This isn't anything super, it's impressive, but to say that he's not natural in these, you don't know. Because there's plenty of guys that look like this that are natural in your local gym. And there's plenty of guys that look like this that are sauced up in your local gym that look like this. And that says a lot too, that this physique in particular, there's no way of knowing, because plenty of guys take stuff and they don't train hard, they don't eat right. And this is sort of what they could look like. On the same token, there's plenty of guys that are all natural and work their butts off and look like this too. And now the time frame for all this has to be less than a year, because he talks about the 3 films that he was training for, basically. So it was the new Ant-Man movie, Creed 3, and then that movie about Magazine Dreams, which I'm really excited for that one. So that movie is about a bodybuilder, so that's gonna be cool. So if when you look up articles about him, how did he train and stuff like that, see, this is one quote that stood out to me, and I always say this to people too. It's about the opportunity. When it comes to actors and athletes, see this quote, "This is impossible. Nobody's going to make it." But I was also like, I gotta do this. This is an opportunity. See, when someone like me or you are going on a diet and training for something as silly as a bodybuilding competition, it's not to win money, and it's not really to further our career as much as you might want to tell yourself that it is. But athletes and celebrities filming for movies, it's an opportunity to further their career, make more money. So if he fails at not achieving a great physique, he's not gonna make as much money. So the better physique he has, the more of an opportunity it is. I think this is a photo from that bodybuilding movie that he's actually filming for, which is pretty cool. Here's another cool quote. "But the isolation, you don't have anybody around you when you're working out 3 times a day." So I guess he worked out 3 times a day. "And you've got to eat 7 meals a day." That's definitely bodybuilding language right there. "And you're pacing up and down your apartment, force feeding yourself the food you need to grow." That isolation and physical commitment does breed a certain amount of emotionality and distance. Gift of adversity is you get to learn from the role. I learned these things about my body, my spirit. So yeah, this quote alone tells me that he really took this serious, and he did approach the bodybuilding lifestyle, because anyone that does understands working out multiple times a day, whether it's going for cardio in the morning, weights in the evening. And I'm sure if this is your job to literally get as big as possible, you're going to work out twice a day with weights. Then force feeding yourself, man, force feed. You really don't understand how hard it is to get big until you're literally force feeding yourself. People say that all the time, but are they actually doing it? Probably not. And then the isolation to actually commit yourself to all of these things to achieve that goal. So this quote is pretty cool, and it shows me that he actually did work his butt off for this, which leads me to believe probably didn't take a ton of gear as some people might think. It's almost like people hope that he took gear so that they can use that as an excuse for why he became that way. I don't think so. Jonathan Majors Creed 3 workout routine. So this goes into some detail about it. It's talking about 2-day sessions, one at 4 a.m., one at 7:30 a.m., lifting weights, and then he sparred with professional boxers. So this magazine also goes on to show you, what kind of workouts he's doing. I think this looks like to be some kind of back workout with some leg raises for abs. And then it goes on to talk about arms, chest, legs, and other muscle groups. Then his diet plan. So the diet plan is interesting, and this is what all celebrities, this is like the same thing they all say, is like chicken and rice, beef and rice. Same thing. eating a lot of chicken and rice, a lot of turkey and rice, and bison and rice. And then they say that actors do this when they want to shed fat quick and put on muscle in a short amount of time, and he'd eat as many as 6 times a day. Then for some reason they go on to tell you that chicken, turkey, and bison are lean meats, meaning they're rich in protein, give his body the necessary nutrients to increase his strength. Rice is a carbohydrate that would help give him the energy to boost through his workouts and recover afterwards. Yeah, that sounds nice, but I think it's a little more than that. So here's an interesting part of the article. How much muscle did Jonathan Majors gain for Creed 3? So if I were just looking at the before, we'll say this is a before picture and those other pictures we were looking at were after pictures, some of these online. If I were to get, he looks pretty little here, so I would say at least 20 to 30 pounds between them, but I don't know if that's necessarily how much he gained when he started training for it. I'm sure he got bigger after this picture, whatever movie this is. It's confirmed that he gained 10 pounds of muscle prepping for Creed 3. So not only did his Creed 3 workout plan have him get massive muscles, reduce his body fat to just 5%. Okay, so that's crap. That's not true. I don't know if he said that or who told him that, or if they're just pulling this number out of thin air, but I have yet to see a picture where he looks like he's 5% body fat. Single digit body fat, probably. I mean, this picture, I would say no. I would say that's closer to 10 or 11. I mean, I guess single digit, sure. People have this weird thought in their head about single digit body fat. Single digit body fat is very lean, like very lean. It's very hard to attain. And your body does not want to be single digit body fat. It just doesn't. That's close. The fact that I'm saying that that's close to single digit body fat should really tell you all that you need to know. That the fact that this saying that he got down to 5% body fat, that is not true. Most of these guys cannot get to 5% body fat. They would look way different than that, and it's probably not what they're going for on a movie screen. Okay, so here's another article from Men's Health. This talks about specifically how much muscle he was able to put on. Now it says that during the past year of training, it says that he gained 10 pounds of brawn, I guess muscle for Creed. Okay, so a year of training, you can definitely put on 10 pounds of muscle. It's tough, but you could do it. And then 5 more for Kang. I don't know if they're saying within that same year, so that's 15 pounds. And then an extra 6 for Magazine Dreams. So that's when he would be his heaviest. It's 21 pounds if you're keeping track. All right, so this is just blatantly not true in my opinion. 21 pounds of muscle in a year, and then shredding his body fat percentage to below 10%. So none of the pictures I've seen would indicate that he's put on 21 pounds of muscle and put his body fat percentage below 10%. That other article said 5%. Now this one's saying below 10. That seems more realistic. Below 10, maybe 9, 8%. And that's being nice about it. Saying that he did all of that, 21 pounds in a year in itself is very tough. And then shredding below 10% body fat. And then on top of the fact that looking at these pictures, I think the most likely he was either all natural or at least on TRT at the very most, along with your normal fat burning supplements, over the counter stuff, nothing illegal from what I could see. So this is what bothers me the most about these magazines, because if you're just a normal person looking at this would be very hard. It would be impossible for you to replicate gaining 21 pounds of muscle in a year and then getting your fat percentage below 10%. That is like the elite of the elite genetics to be able to do that. And most people that I know, even myself, that's not possible. It's just not. And that's 21 new pounds of fresh muscle. This isn't like muscle memory like you had it before and then regained it, which is a whole nother thing. I hate it when articles talk about this and do this, because it gives people a false sense of what is actually attainable. And then that puts them almost into a depressive state to where they don't even want to finish their goals. So this article also talks about who his trainer was. It's Mark Rhino Smith. If you go to his Instagram, you can see who he is. Some of you guys might recognize him. He does have a lot of followers. It's more than I was expecting. So he was a gladiator, I believe, or used to be, yeah. And he wasn't a professional bodybuilder, but he was a bodybuilder and competed and looked really good. That's a phenomenal physique. In 1992, that's a very good physique. 30 years ago, yeah, okay. I wonder if he's got any other bodybuilding pictures to show when he was shredded. Because when I was doing research for this video, I came across several, this is the one I came across, this video. So this is his trainer, 29 years ago, heavyweight. I'm not sure how heavy that is. I'm sorry, I'm not good at calculating kilograms. I feel like that's probably a little under 200 pounds. I mean, that's a killer physique right there. That's wow. Yeah, so he was legit. Very good genetics. So that's pretty awesome. So if we go back to this article, that's who he worked out with. That was his trainer. And this is his back building workout. So this is just, from what I can tell, he did a lot of supersets for whatever body part he was training. And this is a snippet from his back workout. So the first set would be straight arm lat pull downs, which I'm a big fan of. He did 3 sets of those. Then he was done with that. Then he moved on to what looks to be a triple superset, I guess you would call it. First, close grip pull-ups, which is fantastic for building back. Pull-ups is one of the best exercises you can do. Then went into leg raises. So depending on how he did it, that could have worked back a little, but that's primarily for abs, obviously. And then he went into oblique knee raises. So pull-ups into the leg raise, into the knee raise. So he did back, then 2 ab exercises. Smart, knocking out all that at once. He did that 1, 2, 3. Then he did it 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 3 sets total of each. That was that superset. Then it looks like he ended the back workout with 1 arm dumbbell rows, supersetted with dumbbell shrugs. So that's going to be working your traps. So as far as the back exercises that they picked, straight arm lat pull down, phenomenal. Close grip pull-ups, phenomenal. 1 arm dumbbell row, phenomenal. I'm very impressed with the exercise selection. And what do I know about exercises? I'm just a dude on the internet. But those are, out of the top 5 back exercises for me, those 3 would be in the top 5 for sure. And then dumbbell shrugs, any kind of shrug, that's always smart, especially if you're doing something for a movie role or bodybuilding competition, photo shoot. If you just want to look big, traps are going to help, and that's going to work your traps. So it looks like he did a lot of supersets, and I'm sure he did similar things to the other body parts. So after looking at all this information, to me, I feel like at the most he might have been on TRT, just some testosterone to help with recovery. But listening to his quotes, which sounds like he really worked his butt off, looking at the pictures, it looks like it was something that can be attainable, natural. And then looking at the diet, I'm sure it's a great diet. Judging by his trainer, this guy knows what he's doing. Whether you guys believe that or not, I think he probably knows what he's doing. And then looking at the exercise selection, that was phenomenal. So to me, I think he achieved this physique by just simply working his butt off. And I know that's not the fun thing to say. It's more fun to say, oh, that guy had to have been taking steroids. He was on gear for this. I think this dude just probably worked his butt off. He's got good genetics in the first place, and you put that with some work ethic, you can achieve this physique. The physique I showed you in these pictures, this is absolutely attainable if you work your butt off. And it's definitely attainable if you have good genetics, which he does, and you work your butt off. So to me, I think this is something that should motivate you guys. If you think that this is an awesome physique, and this is the type of physique that you want, and I could definitely see a lot of guys saying, hey, this is a physique I would want. And work your butt off for it. What do you guys think? Do you think he did achieve this natural or not?